Welcome back. We must talk about one commodity, or let's call it a cryptocurrency. I've got a lady here that always say to me on an email, "You are neglecting me, Frans." And Susan say, "Please, can you just have a look at Bitcoin because I just love the cryptocurrencies." Well, Susan, if you look at this chart, I mean, from about January, it did all the right things. It went up giving us all the way higher lows. I mean, that's positive. And if I look at this trend, and remember this is a daily line chart, if I look at the trend, Susan, it's all the way to the top. I mean, it just goes one way. There was a little bit of a blip 2 days ago when it wanted to break the support line. And I think you're looking at this at a chart here that makes me a little bit nervous. And I'll tell you why. The moment I see this on any chart, and that's a symmetrical triangle, I know that we're getting to a point where the chart must either break to the upside or it must break to the downside. And of course, I know you're always looking for a place to buy Bitcoin, and especially if it breaks above 7,230, it can easily go, and let's just maybe show the viewers where do we get that. It can go, if we just do that extension, the width of this symmetrical triangle, and if we extend it to the top, it can go all the way to 8,109. But of course, on the other hand, if it breaks below 7,004, we can say 7,000 there. If it breaks below that, it can go all the way down to 5,713. Susan, wait for this to break either to the upside. Keep your eye on the chart, and usually a symmetrical triangle after such a strong rally usually just give us a little bit of a pullback and then maybe an extension from there. So be a little bit nervous, just be a little bit cautious and just see what's going to take place. Well, let's have a look at some of the indexes. Now, the indexes, the first one, everybody is asking us about financial stocks. And most of the financial stocks, those strongholds, are on the J212. And that's the financial 15 index. That's the 15 top stocks. Now, guys, let's just have a look here. And I want to use a weekly chart here because I know there's a lot of people that is looking at maybe buying for the long term or for the short term, but this is for the long term. And if you look at the weekly chart, there you are. In 2018, this index was around 18,587. And it hovered and it gave us all the way lower highs. Look at here, from 28 January 2019, it struggled to make new highs. And then, of course, it fell off a cliff. It's quite simple now. If you want to buy for the medium or long term, first of all, we don't know if we're going to see a new low. Now, let's just have a look here. Recent low, that is when all the markets were in havoc state a few weeks back and everybody was just so nervous. And nobody knew what to do, and everybody just wanted to sell everything that they've got. Let's just have a look here. Now, if we look at this index, if it breaks, this is quite important. If it breaks 8,975, where can it go to? Let's just do that extension first. And remember, we can easily see a new low here if the index go below that 8917. If it go below that, where can it go? It can take it all the way down, and it can take it right down to 7,710. That's quite a drop. So for the guys that's waiting for a new low, wait for this line to break, this 9054 level. If it breaks below that, you know that we can see this extension to the downside. But on the other hand, if you believe that this recovery of the market will be a V-shaped recovery, then you anticipate that it will turn around and then it must break above this line 103.99, and the first extension to the top will be 11,572. So let's see which one is going to be first, either the new low or a higher low, because what happens if it drops off here and it goes up there and it comes back and it breaks there, we'll see a low, a higher low, and the first higher high on the chart. And that will be, of course, bullish. So let's have a look and see what will take place there. Let's have to look at what we call the general indexes, J272. That's all these industrial counters that you see where the big money is in the South African market. And let's have a look here. Exactly the same story. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this chart because it's almost the same scenario as what I gave you now on the financial chart. And I'm going to give you the levels here as well. Here you are. There's the high. If it breaks above that, 106, we can see a beautiful move to the upside to around 116. And if it breaks below 92, it can maybe go all the way. Let's just see there. It can go there to 78 if it breaks to the downside. Let's have a look at this one. J953. Now that's where the big guns of the market is. This holds a story on itself, and that is Naspers and Prosus. They are in here, and look at this index. From 2018, it was all the way down. What do we see here? We see a low, higher low, higher low, and another higher low. Look what we see here. Every time, and I want to show you guys here, every time that you see this almost a spike, let's have a look here. And maybe that will hold the clue for this little discussion as well. What do we see here? Every time that if these shares do the following, give us a beautiful of a rally, then they pull back first. Then they give us a beautiful rally and they pull back. Same year and same year. And can you see all of them are almost like lamp-pole formations, straight up, straight up. Now, everybody is chasing this market. Everybody believes that we are on the way to brand new highs in the index. I'm a little nervous of that because what I say to myself, look at this beautiful rally, straight down. Beautiful rally, straight down. So I will say if Naspers and Prosus comes under pressure, then you can easily see a little bit of a pullback. And if you look at that pullback line, use this little support line all the way. You can use that. There you are. There's the low, and I've extended it. It can easily pull back. Let's see where it can pull back to. It can pull back all the way to that, and that is around 633 from around 835 where it is now. So that gives us what? It gives us almost a 10% pullback on these two stocks. Now, if I relate that to the index, the top 40 index, of course, these two counters, Naspers and Prosus, that's the heavyweights in this index, they weigh about 25-26% of our index. So what will happen if they pull back maybe 8 to 10%? I doubt if the index will hold up, because what will happen? We'll also sell some of the other counters that had some beautiful rallies. Well, the last one that I would like to look at here before we look at some stocks again here is the resources index. Now, the resources index is holding a few nice clues. And as we know, they are the favorites of the market because everybody say that the world is going to need some resources if this corona is finished. But what happened? Look at it. It rallied all the way from 170 to 238 in one straight line. Now, let's have a look here. This is what resources is doing. It's always a rally, then a pullback. Rally and a pullback. But look at this ugly pullback that we had here. And what do we see here? We see a straight up. That's a lamp-pole formation. But if you believe in the resources and you believe there's more legs into it, let's have a look here. I see a tiny inverse head and shoulder in the making. And there's your left shoulder. There's the big head. There's the right shoulder. Let's see if it can break up. And the level there will be 24247. And where can it take it to? If you just do a normal extension here without being too fancy, you can just extend it all the way and we'll probably see a brand new high in the resources index since what we've seen in a few months ago. There you are, can see. It's almost in 2020, around March, we saw a new high there and it can easily surpass that. I doubt that. I'm a little bit nervous. The markets did extremely well the last few weeks and I'm just a little bit worried things can maybe turn out to be a little bit sour because what we see some companies come out with results. The first one that I would like to know and show you is Coca-Cola. And I mean, I'm a guy that like a little bit of Coca-Cola And what do we see? This company reported that they had a drop of almost 25% of their product in the last 2 months or so, where the corona was actually on the go and some of the companies and the world was almost in a lockdown. Let's have a look here. I mean, this is a straight down sell-off. And what do we look at? If we look at Coca-Cola, in 2019, that was a high. It fell all the way back and it bounced now. And I would like to see what happens here. This is holding a key for me, because if Coca-Cola can take out this high, the world say that things are turning for the better, because where do you buy Coca-Cola? In cafes, in restaurants, in hotels, and that will tell me that people are start to use the product again, and they are starting to relax a little bit again, and that will tell me also that the world wants to tour a little bit and enjoy a little bit. So the big level here is this $49.22. If it breaks above $49.22, we can maybe see a move back all the way to the upside. Let's quickly do another stock, and that is there you are. I just want to run through. Well, that will be Spur for Roger. So Roger, thank you. I hope I can quickly do it for you. There you are. Spur is, oh yeah, same thing here, sell off here, beautiful rally to the top here, and well, let's have a look here. Richard, it must go above 1934 to give me another move to the upside, and if it pulls back, the big warning level will be right at the bottom at that 1598. See, same thing, waterfall formation, a little bit of a bounce, and now we need to see if it can break that level. So well, I hope it gives you a clue, and next time, all the best. Visit our website www.fransdeklerk.com, and so thank you for all the new subscribers joining us.